Are we not live? Yeah, so I'm looking at your stream, and I can hear me, but I can't hear you at all. Nope, I can't hear you on your stream.
Apply. Testing. Okay, now it looks like it's really loud. Let me turn my mic down here. Match these levels up. Test 1 2 3.
Alright, we gotta wait for the stream delay. Isn't this fun? Is it technical difficulties?
Technical difficulties.
Okay, the stream's catching up. Okay, now we can hear you.
Perfect. Alrighty, hello everyone.
You want to do that intro?
Let's do that intro again. Hello everyone and welcome back to the video on the Skullcrane Entertainment YouTube channel. This is the triple take on the intro with technical difficulties, but thank you everyone for being here, for being subscribed to the channel, and liking this video. We're in for a fun one tonight on this wonderful Tuesday evening. We're talking about Spirit Halloween 2021, the flagship store, Techie's incredible return, and even some other Halloween stores that have showed up and really shown us what Halloween is all about. So, Jovineer, go ahead and say hello. Let's make sure everything sounds okay.
Okay, so now that Skullcrane's mic is working, is my mic working fine? Am I too loud? I have Audacity pulled up. I can change that really quick. Are we good? Before we have any more technical difficulties halfway through.
Yes, no more of those. We should be good to go. The chat says everything's good. Yeah, that'd be nice to do like a test screen. I'm sure there's a way to do that. I'm just not, technically advanced with all this. Just running this off of my computer. So we should still be okay. Everyone says we're perfect. We are perfect.
Acorn of all people.
Acorn, we are perfect. Thank you very much. Alrighty. Let's get this show on the road. We're going to go through each individual animatronic through the Spirit Halloween Wiki. A great wiki page. Has a ton of stuff documented for the new Halloween 2021 season and all the other years Spirit Halloween has had. But this year is incredible. I really love the theming this year. I would say their best year since 2016. 2016 is very memorable to me. I'm not sure if I can put it over 2016 just yet, but I would still say this. Spirit Halloween 2021 is an incredible year. The themes finally make sense for the animatronics. I'm so glad we're done with the tropical themes. I think this was a good choice for theming. Jovineer, what do you think about the themes this year?
Themes are pretty cool. I do kind of miss what they used to do with the individualized theming. So, like, I don't know, like how we had the asylum, how we had the clown train. But I can appreciate the overall theme, and I think that it can apply. Actually, I'm not sure, Skullcrane. Have you seen the those posters that we've gotten for the 2022 season? That we've seen pictures of that they handed out at Flagship?
So I did see those. Now, I don't actually remember what the theme was saying, but I do remember it was like a picture of a skull. It showed what the original cave display was supposed to look like, and I'd love to hear more about this. So if you have information on this, let me know. I'd be glad to hear it.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now once I get past this ad. So it is the... it's called Scavenger Plant Zombie Apocalypse Space Station or something. That's what the video title is. So it looks like there is like a skull, and that's like, that must be the setup or whatever. And then there's like a walk-in area. There's a zombie bus, much like the one from Call of Duty. And I can't tell what the other thing is, but it looks cool. And I'm excited for it, although it might be a little bit more islandy, like you seem to have some displeasure for. So Hello?
I was muted. I apologize. I was gonna say this though. I really love the cave display, and I think the cave would have been amazing with a walkthrough, but I do own the cave display, and the cave is quite spectacular. The detail is great, the skull is awesome, and I think themes like that are very cool because they still have a Halloween vibe to them. The tropical themes didn't have any sort of Halloween-esque to them, and they couldn't really tie it in either. It's not like Spirit Halloween changed up like the tiki huts to really make them look spooky or demented or haunted, but like the cave is very spooky with skulls and flames and volcanic effects. It's very cool, and I really like what they did this year with the factory because the factory just has a lot of Halloween vibes to it. I like how they called it the Spirit Halloween Factory. It has a kind of a play on words because, you know, Spirit Halloween and Halloween Factory, but it all tied in well, and I really like what they did with that. So I think next year's theming will be just like this, at least what I'm hoping for. I'm really excited to see what they do, although I would still say I would still love to see, you know, a graveyard or a barnyard or something that's still traditional, because it seems like those are still the best themes and the most memorable for Spirit Halloween fans.
Oh yeah, no. I like the like cold general theme, like there's an entire theme, but there is definitely some sort of like homage to Spirit when you have those personalized themes. So actually, I work at Spirit, and I've set up some of the ICEs, the in-store experiences. It's really cool. So I've seen everything, and everything is really cool. I've seen everything up close. Obviously, I can say this because the flagship store opened, blah, 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 and everybody else has seen it. But I did not go to flagship, but I have seen the themes, and they are awesome. They are cool. There's actually a lot of stuff that I'd be interested in purchasing after the season is done. I'm sure everybody's seen those cool lava floor tiles. For my room, I want some of those because those are really cool. The countdown to Halloween is very, very cool. I love how Spirit over the years has started like putting in more technical things and just stuff that's not just like cardboard displays anymore. There's other factors into it, like lighting, like the TV displays, things like that, and then actual things people can purchase, like the Halloween side and the floors. I forget what the other stuff they've done over the years, but stuff you can purchase after the season that kind of gives it more spice, if you will.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. This year, the front display is incredible. I mean, both displays are incredible. I would have loved to have seen the gears spin, like on the Spirit Halloween sign. That would have been a nice touch. I was expecting that, but that's okay. I think they really did a good job, and people are overlooking this because of the animatronics in front of them, but the TV screens in the back theme are awesome. The display on there with the skeletons in the factory and all kinds of stuff like that are very cool. My personal favorite part, though, of the themes is gotta be the conveyor belts. Those are very cool. I like the pumpkins, and I would assume how it works is that it's just spinning around, and like inside the little box is like two conveyor belts sort of like switching off, and like one ends when the other one starts. But it's just so cool to see how this all works. You're gonna have to let me know though, because I'm curious how those work.
So I've not seen it in person. However, I have had a lot of communication with people as they set up the spirits. And like I said, I can say this now because the stores are open. So the way the conveyor belt works is it's just a conveyor belt, and the pumpkins go across. But there's a little thing in the conveyor belt that spins the pumpkins around. So that way you can see the carved thing. So when they're going in the tombstones, or the coffins or whatever, they spin around really quickly, so then when they come out, it looks like that they've been carved. And then when it flips around, they flip back around.
That makes sense. I thought it was like two separate conveyor belts with them glued on there, and they just spin around. That's very, very neat. I like that a lot. That's awesome.
And the pumpkin and conveyor belt will actually be for sale. I believe that there were prices at the flagship location for the displays, and the flagship location has a history of having more expensive prices for their displays than the actual stores. I believe the price was around $270, although I can fact check that real quick, for the entire conveyor belt system.
Yeah, the themes are pretty cheap. I remember last year my store was giving away the tiki huts because I couldn't give them away to anybody. They were free. I bought the cave display for a couple $100, but the tiki huts were just free. I didn't get them because I didn't have the room for them, but I'm curious if this year these themes are going to go quick, but I would assume for sure the countdown to Halloween and the just the themes in general this year are going to go pretty quick just because they're very cool, and I think they're very versatile too. That conveyor belt, though, is one I do want to purchase at the end of the year. That sounds amazing to have.
Can confirm. I was sent an image from somebody who went to Flagship. $249.99. That is the price of the conveyor belt. So you get the pumpkins with it, the conveyor belt, the coffins, everything like that.
That's very cool. I can totally see that working. Now, one thing I'm curious about is the skeletons with the digit eyes. Do you have any word on those?
Okay, so the skeletons with the digit eyes, yes, I have information on that. So at night, not everybody follows me on Instagram, so they won't know this 100%. But I actually unboxed the sets of digit eye skeletons. So all they're just regular posable skeletons, but they have digit eye heads. So every store gets 4. We are not getting any more, and they are not for sale until the end of the season. So we will not have them on our shelves. They will not be for sale until they sell the displays. The asking price for the skeletons is $60, I believe. That was also on the Flagship pricing things. But yeah, however, even though you can't get them till the end of the season in store, they will be selling them online for $60 plus shipping. So if you're interested in getting one of those, they will be online, or you can get them at the end of the season.
I do see that Big Lots is carrying them as well. So I'm curious if those will be the same exact ones, or if there'll be any different.
No, the ones at Big Lots are the Pan-Asian Creation cheapos. I like to call them cheapos. Have you seen the full videos of them?
I have not.
They are very poor excuses for digit eyes. Let me see if I can find a video. They're not really digit eyes. They're just LEDs that have like some sort of cover over them, so it gives the illusion that they blink. It isn't like an actual screen. I don't know how else to put it, and I don't know if I'm going to find a video.
I'm doing some research on my end here.
Yeah, and if you find it, you're going to be disappointed. And also, I'm pretty sure, I don't know what I'm actually curious about
I found
the skeletons, because I'm not sure if Seasonal Visions makes the skeletons, because the skeleton bodies, I'm pretty sure, were made by a different company. And the heads are made by Seasonal Visions, obviously, so it makes me wonder if they partnered with the company that makes the skeletons.
So here's what they look like for everyone that's watching the stream. I can't get a close-up picture of them, but yeah, this is not the same one that Spirit is carrying. I can tell this is a Pan-Asian Creations mold, and they've got some sort of LED panel in there, but it's not LCD, I do not believe. They are $50.
So all it is, it's literally just, so it's like the ping pong ball or whatever they have over it, and then there's like an LED inside, and then there's just like something that covers it. It's nothing like, there's no screen, there's no anything really. It's just a one solid LED, or maybe a few that just go out and then open back up again.
No, I do see that they say Digi-Eye skeleton. No, is it Digit-Eye or Digi-Eye?
I'm pretty sure it's Digit-Eye. D-I-G-I-T. Digit-Eye.
Oh, then maybe they just play on word. I don't know. It's interesting how they changed the name to that.
Oh, you have the picture of the prices on screen.
I do. Oh, the countdown?
Yeah, those are the same pictures I got.
The countdown clock is only $25. It's pretty surprising.
Oh, it is Digi-Eye. I always hear it pronounced differently, so I'm not sure, but I always pronounce it Digit-Eye, just because I think like digital.
Right. Gosh, those hard hats are pretty funny too. I like how they gave Grim one of those hard hats.
You know, I'm not a fan of that. Honestly, I'm not a fan of the hard hats. I get it for the Digit-Eye skeletons, but Grim, I don't really think needs one, just because it feels like it kind of pulls from him. Because I get it's supposed to match the theming, but they really don't do that with any of the other props, and it's kind of like, it just doesn't feel like it works.
Yeah, maybe people think that he's supposed to come with a hard hat too. How do you feel about the side theme this year? The unexpected side theme with the factory
Oh,
showroom.
the horror shop with Shorty and Sam.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
That was so I set that up, and that was actually really cool. A lot of the stores you will. So this is some more information. A lot of the stores you will see is they will not have the lights because we are getting our shipments in very late. But with Shorty and Sam, there will be 2 lights that come off of it, and it really just makes a theme. So it's like a really cool, like rusty. I don't even know how you describe it. It's almost like a little building, and it's just really cool. It when you look at pictures, it looks really small, but it is fairly sized. It is actually pretty big, and obviously Shorty can fit in there. And even though it looks like the roof is covered by that wooden piece, or if it's supposed to be rusty metal, but it actually goes up further. So you could probably fit something 6.5 feet tall in there.
Oh, that's very cool. I would love to purchase this. At the end of the year, I always purchase a new. I want to purchase a new theme. This is probably the piece I purchase. I mean, if I can get the whole front display, I mean, I'd probably take it. But I think this would be what I would want to get. It's just very unique. And what I probably want to do, and I'm giving people some ideas here, is get this factory showroom and then also get the conveyor belt. I think those 2 together could create your own. You could create your own theme with that. I think it'd be very cool. So my goal at the end of the year is to grab the conveyor belt and to grab the factory showroom and really put together a really cool display for next year in my home display.
The factory showroom would be really cool if you had Grim with his hard hat on. That would be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna look at chat now because people are asking questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Pixelated Pumpkin asks, how do you feel about the stores openings being delayed? A lot of that is unfortunately not on Spirit's part. That is on the delayed shipments with everything going on in China. So like all the stores are suffering right now because we're getting really late shipments, and our shipments are being divided. So more than likely, all the props that you would like to see in stores will not be there until late September, early October.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. I would love to get Mr. Dark. We'll go into him in a second. I'd love to get Ophelia or Orphelia, whatever the heck her name is. I'm just really excited to see the stores, and it's very, very complex to see all this happening with shipment delays and store delays and all this. August 14th isn't terrible, and I honestly do like having a universal opening date. I'm really excited to be at the store for opening day, August 14th, and check out all the new stuff. I'm just hoping that most of the store is done August 14th and not empty space everywhere.
So, from my understanding, the stores will obviously at least have 1 shipment, maybe 2. So, like, for example, my store has Wacky Mall. But the problem is the items will be very limited this year. Unfortunately, every store is only going to get a few of each prop because of these delays. And we're not going to see a whole lot. I'm pretty sure the way it's going to go is you might get 1 or you might get no restocks of items in stores, just because there's such a limited supply with all these delays.
That's a shame.
So
it's
when
gonna
you
be a
see
race.
something, you're going to have to get it.
Yeah, Mr. Dark is coming home with me the second I can get my hands on 1. Ophelia, I might pass on. I'm not 100% sure I want that one, but Mr. Dark is one I'd like to purchase 100%. I do really like Grim. I might get it depending on how I like it in person, but Mr. Dark is what I'd love to purchase for sure. It's just such a unique piece, and quite realistically one of the most revolutionary props we've seen from Spirit, because while Grim is very revolutionary too, to get all of those features in a budget animatronic, I guess you could say, the servo controllers is something that we've seen before, like from Fright props, and it could still be purchased and used by the home haunter without the need for like solenoids or compressed air. But the 9-foot jumping animation is something that's quite literally never been done before with a battery operated or adapter operated mechanism. It's always been pneumatics, and that's why I find that Mr. Dark's mechanism is just so unique. I saw Brick Thunder's video on Mr. Dark setting it up, and it's all metal. Even the gears are all metal, which is something I'd love to see in everything moving forward. Mr. Dark, I think, is the most incredible piece this year. As much as it is, I would say, a little bland when it comes to the cosmetics, I'm okay with that because it's just the start of something new. So it goes from 4.75 feet, so 4 3/4 feet, basically 5 feet, to 9 feet. That's incredible. I mean, this one just blows me away, and the pricing is very good too. For what you can get them for $200 even with coupon. That's incredible in my opinion.
So this is where me and you separate, because I do not like Mr. Dark, but I love Grim. Grim is awesome. I do believe that if Grim is successful and Inferno Reaper from Home Depot are successful with the use of these servos, I believe that Seasonal Visions will blow all the other companies out of the water. And I believe that if Seasonal Visions continues to use servos, that we will see far more animated characters for pretty decent pricing. I think that Seasonal Visions is the top dog right now. I have a thing against Techie toys because every single thing I bought from them has broken in under a year. So I have a stigma against Techie toys. Seasonal Visions is very reliable to me because I bought a lot of things from them, and I have not had any issues. The only exception being my Home Depot Gravedigger. That was because I ordered a replacement and I screwed with it a little bit too much. So, but that aside, Seasonal Visions, I would argue, is the one who put the standard for metal poles in. I don't think I've seen in any other company this year use anything other than metal poles and metal framing. And Seasonal Visions has done this basically ever since they started. And I think that with the use of servos, and if they continue to use it, that when they make these animated characters in future years, either companies are going to have to change to servos or they're just going to die. And I hope that, and I think that, and this is my honest opinion, that Seasonal Visions is the Gemmy of this current era. And if they continue like they are, they will be the Gemmy of our era. And that other companies, if they don't catch up, they're going to die. So that's just my opinion.
I hear you 100%. Here's how I feel about this. All the companies right now are very, very different from each other. I would say the one with the most social media presence is probably Techie. Even though they don't have much of a social media presence and they don't really present themselves too much, their website's awesome. They have a really nice in-detail website. They have a nice YouTube channel with setup videos. I really like what Techie does with their setup videos and their sort of immersive Haunter experience. This year has been their best year, I think, ever. Techie's killed it this year with some of their new items for Party City. And the one thing I'm starting to see is Seasonal Visions has completely dominated Home Depot's market. Gemmy has sort of worked for Lowe's. Seasonal Vision has sort of worked for Home Depot, and we've seen Techie work for Party City, but now Seasonal Visions is starting to dominate the Spirit Halloween game too with these servo controllers. I'm a fan of Infernal Reaper over Grim because of the detail, although some people may like Grim because he has a lot of opportunity for customization. We've seen this with the 12-foot skeletons from Home Depot. I do love the Inferno pumpkin. It's what is that one called? The 12-foot pumpkin. I forget the name of that one.
But I don't know. It's like Inferno pumpkin skeleton or something.
Yeah, the Inferno, something like that. But that one's very cool because it's different and unique, and I'm all for uniqueness. And I think that you're right on that. If we can bring in servo controllers, which are amazing and far superior to anything else we've seen on the market today, we're going to be in for one. Plus, if we can have more servo control animatronics, I'm sure the cost of servos will go down across the entire spectrum. And then we can start to see a lot more unique and creative ideas starting to spawn from Seasonal Visions and some of the other manufacturers that are out there. I'm really excited to see what comes next. We only have 2 servo controlled animatronics this year. We have Grim and Infernal Reaper. And I almost bought Infernal Reaper. I passed on it for now because I'm still curious to see what Grim does. But Infernal Reaper is on back order. I would say that if it had the same movement as Grim, it'd be amazing. Perhaps minus the arm movement. I would have loved to have seen Grim with 2 arm movements instead of just 1. But still, I can't ask for too much. Grimm is still amazing, and if coupons do become available this year, I saw that Pixelated Pumpkin was talking about about the coupons. Well, I guess you could tie it into Grimm too, because Grimm could really use a coupon to compete with Infernal Reaper's pricing. I would say this is going to be a great year for Spirit. Again, coupons are needed because Spirit Halloween's prices are pretty high, especially on things like Buzzsaw. Buzzsaw is very high priced, even though he's very unique. Love his head sculpt. I think this year has a lot of opportunity, as long as we can see the prices start to sort of conform to how they were with Gemmy's prices. And I agree with you, Seasonal Visions has the potential to become the Gemmy of the 2020s. It's just, if the prices can match what Gemmy had, it's going to be revolutionary. I'm really excited for that. CM Halloween, thank you for the super chat. Your support is greatly appreciated. Everyone that does super chat during the stream will have their YouTube channel linked in the description and in the comments section. Thank you for your support. I greatly appreciate it. Go ahead, Jovineer, for your response.
I see a lot of people liking Techie, and I can totally understand the like for Techie. I just have never had good experiences with it. I've had a lot of people who just have severe dislike for Techie. I will give them credit where credit is due. It seems like this year that they have upped their quality, and I am a very stern believer seeing somebody else get it and then seeing it in person before I buy it. And especially companies like Techie, where I wait to see how long it lasts. Because in all honesty, I don't have the time, I don't have the effort, and I don't really want to invest in fixing something that's just going to break really quickly again. But if I see that this year the Techie has improved, I might consider getting something from them, because I have seen some of their stuff for Party City and other companies that I don't know who else they're selling for, like that the Exterminator or whatever the heck he's called, that look interesting, but like I said, I'm just very, very hesitant. And I know a lot of people have a thing against Seasonal Visions because their items are, to put it simply, generic. I'm not quite sure what people want out of Seasonal Visions, because it feels like that they're trying their best, but I think the reason that a lot of people think that they're generic is because the movements that they do, the characters that they produce are all very similar. So when you put them all in a line and they all do very similar things, you think, oh, well, that's pretty generic. However, my hope is that people can make input on that. And you can't, my argument is, you can't say something is generic without offering a rebuttal, or not a rebuttal, but ideas. Because I feel like Seasonal Visions is trying, but they don't really have any good ideas. And they have the ability to make stuff really good. I mean, Grimm is awesome, and I'll get to that in a little bit. But the ideas are lacking, and they've just made so much that it's hard for them to come up with new stuff. So a lot of people say that Grimm is generic, and there's a lot of detail. The thing, what I'm pretty sure is going on with Grimm is that all he is an experiment for Seasonal Visions. Seasonal Visions is just trying that stuff with Grimm. Inferno Reaper was kind of a more like pushy try, but I think the idea is that if Grimm does really well, they will make more advanced characters outside of just skeletons. They're just trying with a skeleton because that's probably the easiest thing to do, and it's probably the most safe thing to do, is just to go with a very movement-based skeleton. But I'm sure if Grimm and Inferno Reaper do very well, that Seasonal Visions will continue to use servos and make more advanced characters outside of just very, movable skeletons. Which is why I encourage people to go out, buy Inferno Reaper, and buy Grimm, because I guarantee you that this is just, they are not the product of something that we will see for years. Those are just the start. I predict that if these guys do well, that over the next 5 years, Seasonal Visions will be primarily servos, and the gearboxes will not be a thing. That will be a thing of the past. So my hope is that Grimm and Inferno Reaper do very well this year, so we can see more characters outside of skeletons being very animated. Okay, I'm done.
I agree with you 100%. Servos are incredible. I'm looking at Inferno Reaper right now on the screen, and his detail is great, and I would just love to see characters with this animation and with servos, because servos can be used in so many different ways. Infernal Reaper is awesome. He's on back order. Now I'm starting to regret not getting him because I'm a huge sucker for Reapers. Now, with Grim 2, I agree with you. I think the bare bones, literally, design is what is going to help sell him well, because people are going to get creative with him. And I do really want these to sell well this year as well. And I'm glad that this is one of those animatronics that Spirit Halloween has on the site, because that means that they have them ready to go, ready to be shipped. And that's awesome news, because that's one of those animatronics that people should want to get their hands on, especially if Mr. Dark becomes scarce. But some people have been commenting on Techie's new designs for their gearboxes and everything like that. If Mr. Dark isn't just the only Techie animatronic to have metal gearbox, metal design, metal structure, then this is going to be an awesome year. I'd much rather pay more money for a quality animatronic than less money and get something with less quality. That's just sort of how I look at it, and I agree with you that Techie's animatronics can falter very quickly. Techie animatronics are the most common that I service, and I do own quite a few myself, and almost all of them have at some point in their lifetime had some falters. My lunging lilies tend to stop jumping, or they'll bend over, or something else will happen. Jumping spiders go out all the time, same with the jumping bug and jumping dog and all the other characters like that. Anything with those fast, unique movements are very, very prone to falter, but Techie still has the most unique ideas in the game, and I think this year Seasonal Visions did start to impede on them a bit, but then Techie came right back with some unique ideas. But I think that servos are the future, and I would love to see if Techie can use servos, or even Jemmy can use servos if they can get to that level. I'm also very curious to see what Jemmy introduces for lows this year, because we've seen quite a few things, especially that $64 pop-up girl life-size thing that Lowe is supposed to carry from Jemmy. That thing looks very cool, and if it's $64, I mean, that's pretty tempting too. So I'm just excited for this year in general. I'm just really hoping we get to see everything come September, and there is no delays in shipments, and we can just see the whole lineup from each store. All the stores are stocked with new animatronics, and this year is a great year for the Halloween season.
Actually, I would like to say that I think that Techie and Seasonal Visions are probably the biggest companies right now. All the other companies, I feel like, are there, but they've either come from their grace or they're just hanging on. I do believe that Techie and Seasonal Visions, they apply to different people, but that's not a bad thing. Them being competitors is great. Because when you have competitors and there's not somebody absolutely dominating the market, there's always standards being set and people compete for better products. But this brings me to my next point is who's the company? Crazy Create. Oh my god, I hate Crazy Create. And I kind of want to finish up so Skull Crane, I can hear your thoughts on it because I haven't talked to you much about it. Crazy Create is, I like to think of Crazy Create as this really weird baby between 2016, 2015, 2017 Techie toys and 2010 Seasonal Visions, where the quality isn't really there and the ideas are meh, and they're a pretty mediocre company. The ideas are okay and sometimes they're cool, but the quality just sucks. And it's probably the worst out of the companies in the modern companies. What do you think, Skullcrane?
Crazy Create does have some unique ideas, but their stuff is very, very faulty. We've seen them introduce quite a few things this year. The Pennywise Sewer Grate. We've seen, I believe, a couple others from them, like the Harriet Hustle and Henry Hustle. Harriet Hustle is very cool, and Henry Hustle is very cool, but Henry Hustle, most of them out of the box don't pop up right. Most of them pop up and then the head retracts too quickly and sort of falls back into the mechanism. So without a doubt, Crazy Create items are very faulty. I don't believe I own any Crazy Create items outside of the hay bale popper, and my hay bale popper does not work anymore. So I guess that goes to show that their quality isn't the best. But one thing that would really help these companies if they had support teams and they had websites, they had contact pages, because most companies for the exception of Techie Toys and SVI, do not have any contact pages. You can't contact YJ, you can't contact Crazy Create, you can't contact WoU. All these companies cannot be contacted, so I feel like that really hurts their standpoints, and that's why in my collection the only animatronics I own for the most part are either Jemmy, Seasonal Visions, Techie, or Distortions. That's like all the animatronics I have by manufacturers. I can't think of any others besides maybe Nightmare Harvester by WoU.
So, and I'd like to talk about Henry Hustle. You've seen the video of somebody who actually owns Henry Hustle, not the flagship one, right?
Right.
Okay. So, there's a lot of speculation going on right now. So I can confirm, or I'm pretty sure that I've heard this from somebody, so don't hang me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure that the one at flagship, the head was a lot heavier, and it had been put away for a long time, and it was just, there was something wrong with it, so the head dropped down again, and it was made out of a heavier material because most of the items at flagship are prototypes. But that aside, the one video from, I'm looking at the video right now, by Chilling Props, who had gotten Henry Hustle at the flagship location. If you look at the video, you'll notice that the monster head, or whatever the heck you want to call it, goes up, but it doesn't go up all the way. And a lot of people are speculating that either the springs are weak, or that there's like a wire there that just holds it down or something. But it seems like that it's a manufacturing issue and not necessarily a chance issue. And when I first saw Henry Hustle, he was one of the clowns I wanted. I think he was right up there with Wacky Mole. But now that I've seen videos of him from people who actually own him, I don't really want him anymore, because that just pulls away from it, and I don't want him anymore like that. And excuse me, I'm pretty sure that Henry is made by Crazy Create, and I know that Crazy Create stuff has a history of not working for very long. So it's just, I'm so hesitant to buy him, because if that's a consistent issue and there really isn't a fix for it without it ruining the endurance of it, I'm not interested in purchasing it. And it really hurts the sales of props when they have some unseen issue that we didn't see in the videos, and it just makes people feel like they got ripped off. And that's how I feel about Henry right now, because I wanted it so bad, and now that I've seen these videos, it's like I don't care about it anymore.
I agree with you. I used to really like Henry Hustle, and when the Graveyard Shift trailer was released, he was my favorite one that I saw alongside Grimm. But now after seeing the videos of it, it seems very cheaply made, very poorly designed, and overall it just doesn't seem appetizing to me whatsoever. The animation, when it's not consistent, and especially with you now mentioning that there's a manufacturing error that causes it not to rise all the way, I believe this is going to be one that not people are going to want to get, even though some people like Psychotic Circus of Savannah have already purchased it, and I'm really curious to see how they react to it, because I know that Psychotic Circus of Savannah is very, how do I say it, with the review videos, they go into deep detail. Well, he does very deep detail reviews. I know he'll eat it all up. Yeah,
he's very particular.
Yeah, he will eat this thing up if it does not work right. So I'm really curious to see how they function, because I'm just not sure how I feel about this one. But now there is one that I wanted to go to, and I'm very intrigued by it, although the price is insane. Headless Jack. Have you seen this one yet?
Oh, yeah. So I had heard about that one. So before Flagship had opened, I was talking to some people who work at Spirit saying, yeah, we got this price tag thing for this thing called Headless Jack. And all it says is that you can extend the height. So for all this time, we speculated that Spirit was going to surprise us with this life size that they just never advertised. But then it was this like weird, like pumpkin head, 9-foot tall prop thing. I'm not a fan of it. It looks weird. It looks cheap. It kind of reminds me of who made like the Jesters in 2009. Those weird like flat head hanging foam filled props. Like, that's what it reminds me of, and it just, I guess I could see the nostalgia, but I don't like it. It's weird, and it looks cheap.
Yeah, this is a Techie animatronic right here, this 2021 piece. I liked Headless Jack when I saw him on the box, but the price of $280 is very steep. In fact, this one reminds me of Distortion's Pumpkin Stalker, which is a zillion times better. Pumpkin Stalker is going to be untouched by this one. Even though Pumpkin Stalker is about double the money, I'd say you're much better off going and purchasing that one than purchasing this. This is one of those ones that, like, you have to see set up to really want, and I think it looks cool, but I'm not sure because we haven't seen it, and it's a filler animatronic, and I cannot stand filler animatronics. I think that they need to sort out, like, the online-only versus filler animatronics. Like, why waste floor space for stuff that isn't set up? Unless it's... I don't know. I don't understand the point of online-only. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, why is Bloody Bag of Jokes online-only, but, like, certain ones in the store that literally no one has talked about? There's a prop that I haven't seen a single person talk about. And I forgot its name. That's how irrelevant this one is. Well, there's kind of two, but this is the one that I'm going to say. Let me find it.
Is it the bride?
Not the bride, because people talk about that one. It's the dude in the chair, the caretaker. I have not seen a single person talk about him.
It's not even a chair. It's like he's not in it. It's the one with the tombstone on his back, right?
Yeah, this one.
It's yeah, no. He's not sitting down. He's actually like crouching. I thought he was sitting down too, but no, he's just crouching. Yeah, no, nobody's talking about it. It's generic. The animation is just weird. Seasonal Visions made them. I am so disappointed in the Seasonal Visions for that one. Man, it looks cool, but they just did it so wrong. It looks so just weird is a good thing. I get what they were going for, but they executed it horribly.
Yeah, the animation is terrible on this one. I mean, absolutely atrocious. I don't understand why they didn't make him just stand up. It would have been cool if he got up and then brought his shovel up. Right now, he seems so robotic. It just would have been so cool if he would have just had the shovel like this. Then he stands up, brings it up, and then maybe turns his head or does something. But I just think the way they have him arranged, especially for the price, it's just not one that's very intriguing. It's 5.5 feet tall, which isn't very tall, but overall I don't care for this one whatsoever. There's a couple others I don't really like. There's that bride, what is that one called?
Like Evelyn Leach or something.
Yeah, the name is odd to me too. Yeah,
I don't know the names of the bride or the demon by the grove behind her, because they are, and I know a lot of people disagree, they are my least favorites of the year. I forget their names because I personally think their names are stupid, and I think the props are stupid. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, Evelyn Leach, another one I don't really care for. People are saying the detail is amazing on the face of the bride, but then the vampire face, or whatever that is like so poorly detailed that it kills the prop. This is one of my least favorites of the year. The animation is atrocious. Overall, I'm not a fan of Evelyn Leach. This one I think was sort of, I don't want to say it's a waste of space, because there's a prop for everybody, but I find that they could have put so much more into these themes to make them better. There's a couple of online-only animatronics this year that could have been in the themes and would have looked so much cooler. Example, Bloody Bag of Jokes, or even
okay.
Wraith.
So I had this conversation, and I'm sure people are tired of me saying that I've had this conversation. But I've talked to somebody about this before. The reason, it's not confirmed, but we can make a pretty good idea or reason as to why Spirit isn't putting these things there. We're all pretty sure that it's because Spirit is they're applying more to the audience of children who enjoy the Halloween props and just family-friendly people that enjoy the Halloween props. So, one could argue that Bloody Bag of Jokes is pretty gory and pretty disturbing. which is why he's online only. And one could argue that the two-headed ice cream clown is disturbing because there's a kid in it, and that's why it's online only. That's why Uncle Boo Boo, or whatever the heck his name was online only, because he held kids, and it could be argued that that's pretty disturbing. So I'm pretty sure that that's why we haven't seen those, and I totally disagree with it. I feel like Spirit Halloween should be for anybody that wants to go to it. If you bring your kids there and they get spooked, it's your fault. It's a Halloween store. It's not a kiddie shop. If you want kiddie stuff, go to Target. But Bloody Bag of Jokes was a severe disappointment for being online only. Not only just the fact that he's online only and I can't see him in stores, it's just that shipping prices are ridiculous. I hate Spirit's shipping policy. It's stupid. And Bloody Bag of Jokes should have been right next to Wacky Mole, where he belongs.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100% there. It would have been nice to see a reunion of the two, but we didn't get that. Now, there is one I did want to talk about that's just so bizarre to me, and that's Baphomet. Have you seen this one yet?
Baphomet is the demon thing, right? By the way, your stream has a delay on it, so even though I'm watching it, there's like a minute delay.
Yeah,
but
I'll look into that. Yep. It's the one with the ram head.
Yep. Let me hear your opinion on it, because I have a very strong opinion about that one.
Oh, yeah. So Baphomet, I don't necessarily care for it. It's unique, but for the price tag of $300, I don't really understand why it's so much money. I'm all for uniqueness. It's just not up my alley. Again, there's people that will really like to have this thing, but it's not up my alley. It's very generic, and the only thing that sets it apart from anything else we've seen is the head sculpt. But that's the unique part. The unique part's the character, but overall, I think it's just a generic, in the end, just filler character that doesn't really add anything to the store.
I don't like Baphomet. I think that there's a place for demon props, and I think that's what this is supposed to be trying to be, but it doesn't feel right. There's something about it. It feels cheap. I'm not sure if you've seen the video of somebody who actually owns it, but like the mouth opens and there's like this really weird space between his jaw, and you can see where the head connects. And somebody said the head looks plasticky. Yeah, that. His, like, what are they called? Like the wrist guards or whatever? They're like some weird foam material. It looks cheap. It is cheap. I wouldn't say it's necessarily generic, because I think like ramhead demons are cool, but there's just something about it that feels cheap, and it just doesn't feel like it belongs there, or that there should be something more. And the other thing too is that like he has an entire animation for like lifting up his scythe, but I never even noticed it until somebody took the video of his mechanisms. It just feels weird. It feels like maybe they had some other intention with it and it just didn't turn out. Maybe the prototype was better or something. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like it belongs there, and there should have been more thought put into it.
I agree. I didn't even actually know that the arms move. That's how subtle that movement was. I can't stand animatronics with subtle movements because it just adds to the cost of the item and no one even sees a difference. It reminds me of the collector with the bag moving. No one could even tell the bag was supposed to move or does move, yet that was a feature on it. So I'm not really for like unnecessary movements. Now the next one I'd like to talk about is Ophelia, and this is one that I really like. Ophelia is just a cool concept, and while it's not the best execution they could have done, I think it's really creepy. I think the audio being super loud is creepy, and I think it's just one of those props you kind of set up and have there in like a creepy girl display. I think she'd go with Lunging Lily, Peekaboo Penny, Broken Girl, all of those characters. I think she's very, very creepy, and that's what I like about her. My favorite part is the audio.
And again, this is where we separate. What's Ophelia? Is that the name?
Correct.
I don't like Ophelia. I don't care for it. I'm going to be honest. I think it's stupid. I don't know why, but to me, it feels just so cheap. And for whatever reason, whenever they always do the little girl props, it the face always throws me off. It just makes me, it feels weird. And it just feels cheap. The ghost feels cheap. The girl feels cheap. And, I mean, the ghost is cool. I get the concept. I understand the concept. It's like, oh, the girl's like, oh my god, it's behind you, but it's actually behind her, or something like that. And the ghost is creepy. It just feels cheap. I think the biggest thing that throws it off is that the ghost looks like a dollar store mask with LEDs in it, and then just some creepy cloth. I don't know. When I first saw it in the trailer, I just thought it looked weird. The girl looked weird. It just, like, a way to put it is, it just looks cheap. The idea is definitely cool, and I would argue it's unique, but it doesn't feel well executed, and it feels cheap.
I understand that. I can see where you're coming from with it. Now, I'm not 100% sure I'd like to purchase it like I do want to purchase Mr. Dark, but it is a creepy one, and I really like it. Hello, Fever Maniacs. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for tuning in. If you guys are enjoying the video or the stream just far, be sure to like the video and also subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Check out my website too, skullcrane.com. I have a special promo code going right now. It is $5 off by using code LIVE. So check that out. And be sure to check out the website. Tons of cool stuff on there. The next prop I'd like to talk about is Experiment 4. One of those overlooked props that's pretty cool. I don't love it. I don't really care for it. But it's still pretty neat. So what are your thoughts on Experiment 4?
Before we get into that, actually, I just remembered. Did you give me moderator for the YouTube chat?
Oh, I can do that for you. Go ahead and leave a comment in the chat and I'll add it to you. The girl looks like a test dummy for giving CPR. Oh my goodness. That's pretty harsh.
I had a very different comment, but I promised I wouldn't say it on stream.
Oh yeah. I'm worried about the shipping delays. I am too, Luke. Thank you for tuning in, and also thank you for doing business with Skullcrane Animatronics. I recognize your name very well. Thank you for working with me. And I look forward to restoring your animatronic very soon. No, you're a moderator. You're all set.
Oh, okay. Because I'm looking at your live stream and it looks like my message didn't pop up.
Oh, I got you.
Oh, no, there we go. Because of that stupid stream delay.
I will correct the delay. I called Techie and they won't be getting their new stock shipments in until maybe late August. Oh, gosh. I hope that that isn't the case and people can start grabbing some of their new animatronics very soon. Congratulations on being moderator, Jovineer. Yeah, Cookie Clown prototype is for sale. It's not on the website anymore. I did take that down. But check out the website. There's a ton of great things on there. I also have some other things that are going on the eBay store. So check out the eBay store. And if you like the eBay store items, do not hesitate to go ahead and make an offer on anything you like. Just mention you were watching the live stream, and I'll help you out with a great price. Hello, Wubsy. Thank you for tuning into the stream. Hello, the Haunter. Hello, the Center Haunt. Are there a certain number of each prop coming in shipments? So from what I've heard, there is a maximum of 2 for most items, and it's typically 1 to 2, and that does include the demonstration models. Is that correct, Jovineer?
So okay. I cannot confirm for the non-licensed props. However, I can confirm for Beetlejuice and Shorty that each store will only be receiving 2 and no more. That includes when we get new shipments in, we won't get more. When we restock, we won't get more. Anything like that. When we get a shipment in, we get 2 and that's it. 1 for display, 1 for sale. Obviously, the one on display will be for sale at the end of the season, but that's it.
That is bizarre.
Pretty sure that isn't that how it's always been though with licensed stuff. Because I remember like Pennywise. I feel like with Pennywise, that's how it was. Because I remember people complaining when the year he came out that there was like hardly any in stores, and then the next year, like stores got a ton.
Yep, absolutely. Now I'll let you get started to talk about Experiment 4. We did talk about Evelyn Leach, Fever Maniacs. Hello, the Haunter. Hello, Trevor. Hello, Juiced Boy. I'm not sure what Techie animatronics are at Home Depot this year. If you could please let me know. Beside Inferno Reaper, or not Inferno Reaper, Inferno Scarecrow. What other Techie animatronics are at Home Depot? But they do have an impressive lineup for Big Lots. I'm looking forward to it. Pennywise was super popular. Hello, Jackson. Thank you for your support of Skullcrane Animatronics. I appreciate you being a returning customer, and I look forward to doing future business with you soon. And if anyone does purchase anything from Skullcrane Animatronics tonight or today in general, I will give you a shout out in the next video, and I will also be adding your name to the featured shout outs in the description and the comment section of this video. Same goes for super chats of any amount. So feel free to leave a super chat or visit Skullcrane and make a purchase and use that code LIVE for $5 off your next Skullcrane Animatronics purchase. Okay, Jovineer, go ahead and talk about Experiment 4.
Real quick, the only other animatronic Techie made aside from the frickin' Scarecrow was the Haunted Bride.
What is that?
It's the Lady in Gray reskinned. You know what I'm talking about.
This $99 thing?
Yeah, that one.
Oh, I've never seen.
One in all black.
Oh, it's kind of creepy.
You haven't seen this before?
No. You know what? I got this confused with the Queen that PAC did. That's why I'm like...
Oh.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah,
that's very cool. It has great reviews, too. It's in stock as well. And then there's a Jester.
And it's only $100.
I like the Jester a lot, too. That's a very
cool three-face Jester?
Yeah.
Okay. We should probably not talk about Home Depot. We should probably talk about Spirit.
Yep. I was getting carried away looking at the Grave Warrior. I like the Grave Warrior.
Experiment.
Anyway, go ahead.
Experiment 4. What is it? 14 or 4? I've heard both.
4.
4. Whatever. Doesn't matter. I don't like it. Did Techie make it? I've heard both that Crazy Create and. Sorry, not and. I've heard both that Techie created it or that Crazy Create made it.
Yeah, it's Crazy Create.
Which one is
Spirit
it?
Wiki.
Crazy Create?
It looks like
okay, well, you already heard what I had to say. Yeah, I couldn't tell the difference. You know what I had to say about Crazy Create. I don't like Crazy Create. I think they're cheap. Their ideas are okay, but it's overpriced and cheap garbage. I've never been a fan, and this is also another reason why I'm maybe not necessarily a big fan of Techie. I'm not a fan of jumping props. A big part of that is just that they oftentimes are faulty, just because a lot of those mechanisms are not really great for doing something really quick when they have plastic gears. If something moves slow, yeah, it's fine, but when something pops up really fast like that, those gears just get destroyed. And I'm just not a fan of it. I don't know why. I just think it's kind of generic. A hand popping out of like bars, I guess, is cool. I'm just not a fan of it. I'm not quite sure what the hand is supposed to be. The first time I saw it, I was like, is that a werewolf hand? And then I saw it was red. I'm like, okay, so is it a demon hand? But I'm pretty sure it's just supposed to be like some experiment creature hand. But I feel like it should have been less human. I feel like it should have been more monster.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I'm not a fan of it because it's very generic and it doesn't really... I'd rather just get 2 jumping spiders for the price. Like it's a decent scare, but I feel like just jumping spiders are classic and are much better for the scare factor. And it's also really small from the looks of it. Experiment 4 doesn't have a height yet, but it's probably going to be about a foot tall. And that's not very big, especially for $100. Seems like something that should have been $50 in my opinion. What else do we have? I
would have much rather had like hands on a bar and a head pop out. That would have been cool.
That would have been very
cool. It looks like it's in like a little jail cell, and if you had like hands on it, like really gross monster hands, and I guess really like monster's face popped out, that would be pretty scary.
Absolutely. Now let's have a look at one that's kind of been out already, and that's Ghostface. What are your thoughts on Ghostface?
Ghostface is made by... Who made Ghostface and the other one?
This would be Crazy Create. Our
okay,
good friends at Crazy Create.
I don't like Ghostface. There's nothing else I have to say about it. I think I would argue it's probably down there with Johnny Punk. There's people, I feel like it's one of those things that you either hate it or you like it. I personally hate it. I despise it. I think it's cheap garbage. I say that about a lot of things, but this would be something that if it arrived at my front door, I would throw it in the trash. It looks like something somebody made by buying like a $10 Scream costume at the dollar store or something, and then slapped it on some sort of cheap something. It just looks cheap. It looks like somebody handmade it with like little to no experience. And I don't know what's wrong with the hands, but the hands throw me off big time. And I've also heard that it's tiny, it's thin. It just doesn't look right. And it's a shame to Ghostface as a character.
Yeah, Ghostface is hard to beat in terms of hard to make one that's better than Jemmy's. And all I have to say is Ghostface can be described in one word: reskin. I mean, it literally is just slap that on Huntress. You could put a mask on Huntress and have the same effect. Anyway, let's talk about Buzzsaw. Buzzsaw, I really like the head sculpt, but I can't really get behind the rest of the character. It's just not my thing, but let me know your thoughts on Buzzsaw, because I'm really curious. Again, the head sculpt and the mouth movement is pretty fluid, though.
Buzzsaw is one of those props that it's cool to look at, but I wouldn't buy it. I don't really have... I feel like there should be more to it, because even though it's unique, it doesn't feel like it's... it's unique as a character, but there isn't enough there for me to purchase it. I guess my two biggest cons with it is that, yeah, the saw arm has that spinning saw blade, but I feel like it should have had like his hammer arm move, or like maybe his head turn or something that just, it wasn't just side to side. The other thing is that his clothes really bother me, and I'm not sure why anybody else hasn't pointed this out, because like there's supposed to be like grime on his clothes, but like it overlaps. Like it looks like it was like textured in a video game, and it just doesn't look good. I hope you're not talking, because you might be muted.
I am talking now. I was talking before, and my mic was muted. But Buzzsaw, yeah, I think he kind of falls to the sort of cosmetics are lackluster, but the head sculpt and movement's pretty good. That would have been one I'd love to have seen more detail on, especially for the price tag of $280. It's very expensive, although I do like how full he looks. I do like when they have a full bodily structure, at least by the looks of it. I'm going to ask you a question on the themes, and what are your thoughts on the pictures of Pumpkin Nester and Crypt Keeper?
Okay, so I've had a lot of thought about this because there's just a lot to unpack there. It seems that spirits become very self-aware that there are people who are like indulged in the spirit, I guess you could call it the spirit lore. And I'm pretty sure that they're pretty aware that like people will pay attention to things now. So they will, I feel like now they're going to be doing this more often where they will tease things. Pumpkin Nester definitely has the potential to return. He was a very big seller, and he was very popular. And he was one of the first props I ever saw that I really liked. He was there in Spirit 2014, the first time I ever went to Spirit. And I loved him. He's awesome, original character, very detailed, and he was awesome. And I definitely feel like there's potential to return. Now, the Crypt Keeper is something I'm not sure about its return. I feel like, unfortunately, the Crypt Keeper is a bygone era, just because of... I don't feel like a lot of people in this generation know who the Crypt Keeper is. Maybe, when did he first come out? Like late 90s, early 2000s. Like, yeah, he was more relevant then, but nowadays, because I talk about the Crypt Keeper to maybe younger kids, and they're like, who's that? Or like kids that are involved in Spirit Halloween stuff. I feel like it was more or less there to pay tribute to what they've done in the past, and maybe it's the same for Pumpkin Nester. But I feel like Crypt Keeper is just there more or less to pay homage to people who have been there for a long time and know what they're talking about. Pumpkin Nester definitely I could see returning.
Anyone that's watching the stream right now, there's an interesting picture of Crypt Keeper on the Spirit Wiki. Very interesting. But I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
This
I've
one
seen that
retailed
picture on a meme page before.
It is retailed for $400. It was by Gemmy Industries, so I don't know exactly why they're teasing it, but it still would be very cool to see this one return, even if it's by a different manufacturer.
Really?
This was Gemmy, 1996.
I had no idea that Gemmy made them.
1996.
I had no idea.
1996.
Yeah, I was fairly certain it was late 90s. I didn't think it was early 2000s. Crypt Keeper is definitely late 80s to 90s character. People nowadays don't know who the Crypt Keeper is, and if it returned, yeah, you'd have some hardcore fans, but I don't feel like it would apply to the demographic that Spirit is obviously trying to reach out to nowadays. And I hate to say it, but it's kind of like the Munsters, where you try to revive it, like Rob Zombie's doing a movie right now with the new Munsters, but it's had it, and I think it should be left where it was.
I am disappointed that Gemmy doesn't have any life sizes at Spirit this year. I was sort of hoping in the back of my mind that Gemmy would have some stuff at Spirit this year, but unfortunately, we didn't get any of that. I would have really loved to have seen it, but no Gemmy stuff this year. Hopefully, they can really show who's boss at Lowe's. I'm really curious to see the Lowe's lineup this year, as it is very intriguing. Let's talk about Harriet Hustle. This is one that I thought was Henry Hustle, and just people were messing up the name. But Harriet Hustle, the daughter of Henry Hustle, is very unique. What are your thoughts on this one?
So, I'm not sure how to feel about it. It's not generic. It's just not something that I'm totally interested in. However, I feel like Spirit might have done this intentionally, maybe not. I feel as though if I'm going to get Henry Hustle, I need to get, is it Harriet Hustle? I always mix up the names. Harriet, or what is it?
Harriet Hustle.
Harriet Hustle, okay. Since they're father and daughter, and the stories kind of talk about what they do, it makes me want to buy both of them. So if I get Henry, I might as well get Harriet as well. But the thing is I don't know how to feel about it. It's not a prop that I'm absolutely in love with. It's something I would get on the cheap. It's not my favorite prop ever, but if I could get a deal with her and Henry, then yeah, I would get it.
Yeah, Harriet Hustle, I'm not a fan of swinging props in general, just because I don't have like the space to put them up. The only hanging prop I have is Lord Dakhanavar. I really like the detail. It's just not my thing. That's all I have to say on that. I don't necessarily do a clown display every year, but I still really appreciate the detail on this one. The detail seems incredible. That Decorator Grayson says, I ordered 2021 Wacky and he still hasn't came yet. I know some people that already got him, so I'm not sure what's up with that. Hopefully you do receive it soon. I know the pre-order date, we can even check on this right now, is still slated for mid-August, so I wouldn't be too alarmed just yet. Prop X says that only 400 of the Crypt Creeper were made. That's crazy.
That is accurate, because I'm pretty sure that there were only select stores that got him, and it was only one that was sold on display. So only 400 really exist, and I can guarantee you that most of them were trashed or kept by Spirit people who worked at Spirit. just because they probably didn't think anything of it.
Wow. I've seen them pop up, and I never realized how rare they were. I believe these are just reskins of the Gemmy Santa Claus that they made with the same mechanism, same cassette tape player and everything. I could pull up this too. Let's see. I'm on the Gemmy wiki.
Yeah.
I can't find it.
And he was pretty expensive for his time too in that era. So I could see why he didn't sell. Or let me rephrase that, why people really didn't buy them and why some were probably trashed.
Right.
It's really unfortunate that Spirit throws away stuff that doesn't work anymore. It's not the fault of any manager or something, it's just their policy.
Yeah.
But it sucks, because I'm sure everybody's seen videos of people dumpster diving, and they will throw entire animatronics away that have a very fixable issue, just because they can't sell broken merchandise.
Well, they can, but apparently the maximum they can do is 50% off. Like, I've gone to my local stores. In fact, last year I went, and they had a broken Jack straw, and I asked how much it would be, and they said it was 50% off. And I would have purchased it with a coupon, but you can't use coupons. It's not combinable, so you can only get half off on most broken items. That's not all broken items. So it depends on the manager. Some managers are totally cool and let you do that, and some managers like, nope, we're just gonna scrap it. If it doesn't work, we're taking it out back, and we're gonna break it if no one buys it for full price. So it's quite ridiculous how that all works. I don't know if I agree with that policy. I mean, I get it. They don't want to have broken items on display, but it's still quite interesting to say the least.
Yeah, a lot of Spirit stores, you'll find this, especially if you work at Spirit stores. It's the manager is the one who makes all the calls, and that goes for anything. So, like, some stores won't hold items for you. Some will. Some will throw away broken stuff. Some will try to keep it and try to sell it to people for a bargain. Or some, like I said, will just throw it away. So there are some people who follow the policy to a T, and there's some that are a little bit more flexible. It just really all depends. But unfortunately, there's a lot of props that go to waste because nobody wants to fix them, and they just want to throw it away. So if you ever want to think about something sad, think about all the rare Halloween props from the early Halloween, all the early movie props that Gemmy made that were thrown away because they broke.
It's a shame that, like, how cheap the Gemmy stuff was. You could get Ghostface on sale for $100. Like, you couldn't touch it for $100 in a store today. That's insane.
Were you the one who was telling me about how you had the opportunity to get it and you never did when it was on sale?
No. It was not me, because it was with certain things. Like, I do remember seeing a case fresh box of zombie babies all on sale for like $10 each, and didn't buy them. And I remember the high voltage boxes and other things like that being on sale for like nothing. And there's a couple of things that like go on sale and then you instantly regret it afterward. It's crazy.
No, you were talking about Bloody Bag of Jokes, weren't you?
Yes,
that was the one you regretted.
That was it. Yep. But he's back, so that now that's a lot.
Yeah.
It looks like he's the same too.
Can we talk, since we're on the topic of Bloody Bag of Jokes and we kind of covered it? Shipping for Spirit stuff is ridiculous. I hate Spirit shipping policy. It's stupid. Paying $40 for life sizes is absolutely stupid for shipping.
Did they up the price?
Absolutely ridiculous.
I thought it was $20. Wait, add to cart. I'm checking out. Okay, let's see. Oh, it doesn't say. I don't want to go to checkout because it might show my address. But
I can do it real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. Fact check. Also, the store locator is up. All my stores are showing. I've got quite a few in the area too, which is awesome. So I'll be hitting these up on their openings, trying to get Mr. Dark and maybe other things that they have in stock. But I'm glad to see the store locator's
right.
up, even though there's no dates. All right, go ahead with that review on the shipping.
So I'm adding Grim. That's who I'm using for reference. I'm adding Grim. I'm not going to enter a shipping promo code. Checkout now. Guess checkout. Put all that crap in there. Okay, so then after this, it should tell me all the fees and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if I do this, sorry. Okay, now this should tell me. Okay, shipping is $4.99. Oversized shipping is $20. Sales tax, I guess that throws into it, and shipping tax is about $2. So it wasn't $40 like I said, but you're paying around $30.
It should be free, I feel like, if you're buying that.
Absolutely
expensive.
no. Spirit's shipping price is absolutely ridiculous. I wish they had an option to ship to store because almost every other seller does that.
Home Depot is free.
More people would buy things online.
All the big Halloween retailers are free. Home Depot is free. Lowe's is free. Big Lots is free. Skull Crane is free. I mean, you name it, all the big Halloween retailers, all free shipping. So I feel like they should join in on the fun.
I feel like they do. I'm pretty sure they make some good money off that shipping stuff, though. I'm sure they do. I don't even think it's for shipping. I'm pretty sure it's just so that they can make a little bit more money.
Yep.
The oversized shipping is so stupid. Because you could buy something in the life size category, and it could be the same size as a prop box, but it's they put it in oversized because of the category it's in, and it is just stupid. Do you remember the roaming props? The Lizzie and the other one, like the dolls and the roaming bear?
I had one
those
for like
were
one
considered,
day.
Those were considered to be life sizes, I think, or animatronics or something like that. And they put the oversized shipping price on that. And it was double, I think, or whatever. It was just stupid. That's my point. Shipping prices for Spirit are stupid. They should offer not necessarily cheaper options, but they should offer ship to store. I get it if you can't ship it during the season, but during the season, man, just make it ship to store. You're shipping stuff out anyways. Just make it ship to store. I'm tired of paying $30 to $40, and plus, you're paying sales tax, which adds everything on. I mean, you pay that anyways, but oftentimes online only stuff is expensive, and I don't feel like paying $30 to $40 for shipping. So that's just how it is.
We're nearing the last 5 minutes of the stream, but we're going to go into a lightning round here and talk about the last few we haven't discussed yet from the Spirit Halloween 2021 lineup. First one is Mr. Howell. Go ahead.
I don't like Mr. Howell. He's comically large. There's a lot of features of him, and he's made by WO, who has a history of their stuff being self-destructive. Your thoughts?
I think he's cool. Is he worth $300? No. Is he the best werewolf animatronic we've ever seen? No. Is he cool? Sure. Would I get him? No. Next one is going to be the... Let's look at... What do we have here? We got through most of them. Oh, Wraith. What is it on W Wraith?
I don't like Wraith. It's just a poor excuse for a lady in gray or the Home Depot bride for a much more expensive price. It's boring. The lights look weird. It's just generic. It looks like something I could make myself with a lady in gray or whatever the heck her name is. I don't like it. It's overpriced. It's boring, and I just don't like it.
I agree with you fully. That's it. I have the same thoughts. Shorty, go.
I love Shorty. It's awesome. Killer Clowns Out of Space is one of those movies. It's so bad it's good, kind of like Evil Dead or Army of Darkness. I like Shorty. Probably not going to get it because it's not on the highest of my list. I would like to get it, but probably not. Your thoughts?
Shorty, my beloved. Alright, let's see. We talked about Mr. Dark. Alright, here's one. Night Stalker. Go.
That's the Scarecrow, isn't it?
Correct.
Stupid. I don't like it. If you've seen the pictures and videos of him, he has like the cross for the top part of his body and the arms, and then it's just a metal base. He looks cartoonish. His face looks cartoonish. I don't think he's scary. I get the concept, but yeah, he's laughing and he's shaking his head with his arms cut off, but there's no really good explanation for that. I almost feel like he should be like saying like, "Get me off this wooden pole" or something. I don't know. I think, and it's just cheap. Your thoughts?
I don't like him either. I feel like the animation could have been much improved, and I just think that the character in general is very cartoonish. The audio is annoying, and I don't like the structure of the wooden plank, and there's no cross. It's just very odd to me. All right, Beetlejuice, go.
Oh my god, that is such disappointment and a letdown. Beetlejuice, we have not gotten a good Beetlejuice, and I kind of had some hope for this one. I think it's better than the ones we've had, not by much. It's pretty mediocre, to say the least.
The center haunt, which flagship one activated for 3 seconds and now resets? Also, Beetlejuice, I think he looks pretty good, although I wouldn't say he's the best Beetlejuice animatronic we've seen. He's alright. I think the head sculpt is pretty good, but the audio sounds off. It doesn't sound like the Beetlejuice we all know and love. And I will now go through the list once more to make sure we didn't miss any of the animatronics. How about some of those haunted dolls, though? Some of the new ones we've seen.
Ooh, the new ones like Crouchy and Uncle Charlie.
Yes.
When I first saw Hugs last year, I think it was last year that the Hugs doll released, I was like, that's kind of stupid. But now that they're making dolls of like all the characters, all the clowns, I'm like, okay, now I kind of want them because they're being collectible. I like them.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're very cool. It'd be nice if I could pull a picture of them. Let's see if I can do it here.
They are kind of overpriced. I think they're like $40 a piece. So I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the... I can't find the Crouchy doll. I mean, they sold out instantly. I can't find a picture of it. It's interesting. I'd love to see a picture.
We don't know what the Crouchy doll looks like, though.
Yeah,
because there were leaks and there were pictures of it. And there's a video on YouTube, too, so of both Charlie and Crouchy.
Pennywise Sewer Grate.
Stupid. Hate it. One of the worst Pennywise things that we've got. It's probably worse than all the Party City ones. I used to like the floating Pennywise from Party City, but now I hate it. Most of the Pennywise props I don't like. There's just something off with them. I don't like them. Your thoughts?
I agree. I think the face looks very odd. The animation is slow. It's very expensive. And I think the Techie Toys version is far superior.
Oh, yeah.
And now the last but not least. The 6-volt 2-amp adapter.
Oh my god. The best prop in the lineup. Oh my god. It is the best. I will not only be purchasing one, I will be purchasing two. And not only that, they're compatible with props. Oh my god. This is the first time we've ever seen this.
Yeah, I agree. The 6-volt 2-amp adapter is on my wish list. I would love to get more of these. I have a couple of them. I think the detail is great. It's got a nice bodily structure to it. It's very tall, too. In fact, it's got a 20-foot height. That's very tall. We don't see anything like that. At 20 feet in height, that's incredible. I mean, and it's only $13. I mean, that's definitely the best of the year. Everyone in the comments, let me know your thoughts. If you will be purchasing the 6-volt 2-amp adapter, then leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you all so much for watching this live stream. It was a ton of fun doing this with Jovineer Haunts. Be sure to check out his channel. I'll let him go ahead and close out, and then I'll give my closing statements, and then that'll be it. So go ahead and give a recap statement on the Spirit Halloween 2021 season. Your final thoughts. Go ahead.
Theme's pretty cool. There's a lot of good options for that. Props are pretty cool. There's definitely some really bad ones. This is probably one of the best seasons we've had since 2014. Everything before that was pretty in my opinion. But I think the 6-volt 2-amp adapter is definitely the thing that steals the show.
Oh boy, as you can see, we have a ton of fun here on the Skull Crane Entertainment YouTube channel. That's why you should be subscribed. Go ahead and subscribe. It's free. Go ahead and join the email list on skullcrane.com for, I would say, monthly emails about new product updates on the Skull Crane Animatronics web store. Use code LIVE for $5 off your entire purchase. Also, check out the Animatronic Club, Animatronic Workshop, Animatronic Repair Services, Skull Crane 3D, and all other assets of Skull Crane Animatronics. Check out Jovineer Haunts. Shout out to him. Shout out to eCoop for the thumbnail picture. And then Jovineer did some awesome editing to get that thumbnail done in about 5 minutes to get this stream together for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to everyone who super chatted during this stream. Everyone who just watched in general and left a comment. Greatly appreciate it. Take care, everyone. Have a good night. And as always, happy haunting. Take care.